Luton Liverpool 1-1. Well, what do we make of that?
Yeah, it was very disappointing, wasn't it? And a reality
Very
check, I think.
disappointing.
And a reality check.
Yeah, I mean, we say that, but looking at that game, I mean, I don't know how we didn't score more goals. We just didn't have our shooting boots on today. I mean, Salah, Nunes. I mean, Salah, the sitter that Nunes missed. I mean, Salah should have scored that anyway. He normally scores that. Then he misses it, and Nunes. I mean, I don't know how he doesn't stick that in the back of the net, but Nunes is always a threat. I mean, people are going to talk about Nunes the miss, but he's always a threat. He's always making something happen. So for me, I can forgive him, but too many players.
I don't think you can use that line. I can forgive him. I mean, if you're playing Sunday League football, if you're playing, non-league, but not at that top level, mate, you just cannot. Well, I was waiting for them when they were talking after the game to discuss that in a little bit more detail, and they didn't. And for me, that doesn't come down to technique or ability. Okay, that comes down to concentration. Okay, I've coached football and blah, blah. You can't teach someone how to put the ball in the back of the net from 2 yards. You know what I mean? It didn't come at him fast. It didn't come at him hard. It didn't come at him anything really. All he needed to do was concentrate and make the right decision. His decision-making is woefully wrong in more aspects than one. You look at, in the early half, in the first half, and just shoot on sight. I mean, you don't play like that. Someone's got to coach this out of him and just say, listen, mate, you've got to be a bit more of a team player and shooting on sight. I mean, I know we scored a couple of goals, but you can't miss that. You cannot miss that. There's just no, I mean, I can't take, to me, it's a defeat anyway. If you draw to Luton, it's a defeat. It's as good as a defeat to me. Okay, in the stats, it's down as a draw, and it's not. But Man City are not going to go there and get drop points. In fact, probably Spurs went there and won. Not many teams are going to go there and drop points. Now, I have a bit of a problem with a few players, really. I mean, like I said, the reality check. We've had conversations, myself included. This new Liverpool, etc., and we're miles away, really, from someone like Man City. I think we really, really are in our decision making, in our goal scoring, in our solidity, in a lot of departments. I mean, looking at what you look at this season so far, Arsenal have fallen off a little bit. I think we've gained a little bit from where we were. Man United have fallen off. Don't know what Spurs are at the moment. Really don't know what Spurs are at the moment with their one game a week thing. But I can't see anyone challenging Man City. We can't challenge Man City. We can't. I mean, people just put their, Salah. I mean, Salah was dreadfully poor today. Dreadfully poor. And he has been dreadfully poor in a lot of games. But,
he's been all right this season. He's been better.
He gets a penalty and he scores a penalty and the stats are there and, puts a cross. I mean, today, there was a ball in the sky and he's tried to bring it down. He's missed it completely. His work rate. Do you know what upsets me about players? I'll tell you before we move on. For me, work rate is massive. Hard work is massive. Okay? You look at Man City, they work extremely hard for each other, up and down. He's got them playing that system. Salah, from not just this season, by the way, for the last couple of seasons, it's a little bit of a coaster. He's not the player he was five seasons ago when he ran at a pace that no one can catch up with him, wouldn't knock him off the ball, etc. Yes, the stats are there. He's getting the odd goal because everyone gives him the ball. He takes every penalty and all the rest of it. But if someone came in and I said to Andrew, if someone came in and gave me £180 million for Salah, I'd fucking sell him tomorrow, mate. I'd sell him tomorrow. He's not irreplaceable, man. He's not irreplaceable. Let's what he doesn't score the bangers he used to score. He doesn't have the pace that he used to have. His work rate's not what it was. He's kind of, ever since he got that big contract and he's become the big cheese at Liverpool. I mean, last year, evidently, okay, he got 20. I mean, people can give me stats all they like, okay, numbers and figures, but my eyes don't lie. I've seen him firsthand play the football that he plays, and he's not that player anymore, okay? And, he should be the senior forward there now. You've got him, Nunes, who looks like a fucking school kid that needs help crossing the road. And he's not grabbing him by the hands across the road with him. He's just letting him fucking cross the road on his own. You know what I mean? Jota was poor today. And that midfield, Szoboszlai had probably the worst game he's had in the Liverpool shirt so far. Mm-hmm. Gravenberch showed bits and pieces. McAllister's struggling big time. I mean, I feel sorry for him a little bit because he's playing him in that 6 role, which, we all know he's not 6, but he's paceless. And I just didn't understand what Klopp was doing anyway. I mean, he got the yellow card. He's taken off everyone around him off and left him on. He couldn't make a challenge. He couldn't put his foot in. And he was woefully one pace for their goal. My goodness.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Gomez at left back. I mean, if Tsimikas can't play against Luton at left back as his position, he might as well not be at the club. We don't need the Greek Scouse comedian. We don't need, there's a problem there. If you can't play in that position, if Robertson's fit, he plays. We get it. Okay. He's understudy for 2 seasons, 3 seasons, has been Tsimikas. Now, if Tsimikas can't start at left back, as a left back, and you play a centre back, stroke right back at left back, that is the world's biggest daydreamer at Liverpool. I don't know, mate. It was poor.
Yeah, no, I agree that I think Klopp got the selection wrong today. I think McAllister, and actually it could be a blessing in disguise. He's banned for the next Premier League game, so he won't play. And I think he needs to be taken out of the team for a couple of games anyway, because like you say, he's struggling. I would have put Endo into that game. I think Endo would have been better than McAllister in there.
You've got to ask yourself why he's not playing. I mean, again,
yeah, I don't know. Klopp, listen, Klopp sees them in training every day, so he picks the team he sees.
Yeah,
so.
and I agree with that. So why, even when we bought, I'm going all the way back to when we bought him, because before we bought him, not a Premiership side said, "Oh, we're going for Endo," or "This Endo's the one," or out of nowhere, we found out we were buying Endo from where did he come from?
Stuttgart,
and we're all Googling him because no one knew who he was.
Yeah, and listen, so, I think when Liverpool missed out on Bellingham in the beginning of the transfer window, they missed out on Bellingham. They got McAllister straight away, which was a decent signing for 35 million. And when they missed out on Bellingham, they went and got Szoboszlai, right, as their stellar midfield signing. And he hasn't disappointed. Today, he had a terrible game today, and he was rightly taken off. Then they got Gravenberch. I mean, they went for Caicedo as well. Didn't get him. Lavia didn't get him. But I think the midfield we got, I think Endo was brought in just to boost up the numbers. I mean, look, Endo is not going to set the world on fire, but he's a decent player. He's playing at the top level.
He's a decent player that's not playing.
I think sometimes
these players. No.
Sometimes players need time as well. You need to give people time.
No.
You have to.
No, I'm not having that. You're talking about. I'll give you the example that negates your argument completely.
Go on.
Okay, you're going to talk about this bloke. Before I give you the example, he is the captain of Japan. He's an international. He's played in World Cups. He's played in Germany. He knows what time of day it is. It's not badgetage. He knows what time of day it is. Put him in there. Give him some minutes at least to pick up speed. But he hasn't. Okay. The example. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but the example of how we get it wrong as a club, and that's not how we operate, is Tsimikas. He's been there 3 years. How much time do you want to give him before that fucker completing play at left back away to Luton instead of Gomez?
Yeah, well, I can't explain that. You know,
well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not a fan of Gomez. I think you put Gomez. Hold on. I think you put Gomez in there because he was expecting all that aerial stuff and the long balls, and so you put him in there for a bit of a presence in height and physicality, because Gomez is more like a central defender, and we know Trent is going to play midfield. Trent is not going to be at right back all the game, so he put Gomez in there. I think it was a mistake. I agree. Tsimikas should start. Tsimikas should have started. I think Endo should have started. I think, I mean, the rest of the team, I didn't have a problem with it, because if you look at the past form, Núñez had to start, Jota had to start because of the way that he's been playing, and Salah, you're going to start Salah. So I think, apart from a couple of players, he got it wrong, the starting lineup. And then, as well, the way the game went, I never felt we were in danger of losing that game. I really didn't. But the longer the game went on, and the more we didn't take our chances, or that final ball was wrong, or the decision-making, like you say, for Núñez, and not only Núñez, all of them. I mean, there was a moment in that first half where Liverpool were breaking, and there was a handball by one of the players, and Jota was through. And he stopped to get the free kick. When if he'd have carried on, a couple of seconds later, he could play a through ball to one of the forwards, one of his forward partners, and we'd have been in on goal. So Jota as well is the finish. He went for that near post finish. We should have just gone. It was gaping. We should have won the game. We didn't win. We didn't lose, which is good.
That's not an argument, Jason.
No.
I'm not having that. That's not an argument.
We didn't.
I don't think any side that finishes in the top four is going to go away to Luton and drop points. Spurs have already gone there and won. I don't think Man City will drop points at Luton. I don't think Arsenal drop points at Luton. Whatever the reason, whether it's in front of the cameras. I mean, I mean, as much as I don't like to say, I mean, there was an element of arrogance about us as well. There was an element of arrogance about us in that game. Like, yeah, we've been in a little bit of form. We'll just turn up and we'll turn you over, blah, blah, blah. And in typical Liverpool fashion, if we don't get that first goal quite early or start, dominate the game and get the goal and go up, we start to run out of our ideas. And in the end, it was just hooker by crook. I mean, he brought Gakpo on. He was very ineffective. Brought Harvey Elliott on. He had a couple of crosses. Brought Diaz on. Scored the goal. But he needs to, for me, I mean, I don't think we've really set the world on fire at all, really, this season. We've won games. We haven't been spectacular against anyone. The big games against Spurs, arguably, I thought we played well. I remember Wolves that we played badly against Wolves, very badly. Probably should have lost. Chelsea, we played quite. So, yeah, I mean, we're still there for the time being. Mm. But he needs to.
Listen, we're going to be up there. I'd never said we're going to win the league, but I think we're going to be up there.
Yeah, but up there with the likes of 3 or 4 or 5 other teams as well. We're not just. We've got to be careful as Liverpool fans that we don't live in the past, because I and you still think we are. But you look at. I don't like what I see. I don't like what I see. Keeper fine. Trent, I thought was fantastic. So they're probably our best player, spraying balls all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Played very well. Arguably, the midfield is new. Szoboszlai had a poor game. McAllister, I don't think, settled at all in that position. Keeps on putting him. He's been red carded, rescinded. Now he's been booked and suspended. Asking him to do a job.
He hasn't got the pace. He hasn't.
He's not a stopper. He's not a stopper. And they said it on the telly. I mean, they were counter-attacking us, and that's Luton counter-attacking you. If you get counter-attacked by Spurs or Arsenal or Man City and the likes, I mean, there's no resistance there. He needs to fix that mess because you'll drop points.
I think this was a bad performance in terms of we didn't take the chances we had, which would have made the game simple. But I take your point that not many teams are going to go there and drop points. But there's a saying: if you don't win, you don't lose.
Yeah, but that's for teams that are like fighting relegation. Man, we're talking about teams that we're talking about a team a few seasons ago that were getting 90. I get what you're saying, but that's for ordinary teams. That statement applies to ordinary teams. Luton, it applies to Everton, Bournemouth. It applies to those kind of teams. We aren't. I think we're not an ordinary team. That shouldn't be. And what we've got to learn, other than cliches, is how to roll our sleeves up and win dirty or win. You know what I mean? Because I can't see. He annoyed me. Salah should have been off the pitch, I think, before perhaps Jota or because his work rate and it was poor. I mean, and it happened last year as well when he was getting subbed off and he was throwing these toys out. But yeah, I see.
Well, with Salah, I think Salah's been much better this season. And yesterday he wasn't great, but he's been better this season. His energy, his hunger, he's looked like he means business this year. I think he likes his role in the team as well. I think he likes the fact that he's the senior forward. Today it didn't come off. Sometimes it happens like that. For me, I'm still enjoying watching this Liverpool team play a lot more.
Well, there was nothing to enjoy about today's performance.
No, not today. Not
today,
but I'm enjoying watching this Liverpool team play this season much more than I enjoyed watching Liverpool last season. The way we played.
I agree with that. But
yeah. So for me, I'm happy where we are. I think, in January, like we watched that. We were talking yesterday. I was looking at that Copa
Libertadores. Andre.
Yeah, Andre. Now he looks the kind of player that might do well for us. He looks much more robust than McAllister in that 6. Do you know what I mean? He looked quite tidy. He looked okay. So if we sign him, that may change things as well. And they're talking about signing some defender as well. So I think we need those 2 players. And if we get those 2 players, I think that helps us, gives us a push. I think I'd still stand by what I say. We're going to be up there, if not challenging. We're going to be comfortably in the top 4 this season, I think. And I think we can win a trophy as well, maybe 2. We'll see. But I'm happy with the team, how we're playing at the moment. Today was poor. And yes, we've had some poor performances. Wolves was terrible in the first half. We could have been 2 or 3 down, and somehow we came back and won that game quite easily. Against Chelsea, we played well, but not. We kind of let them off the hook, if you like. We were playing really well, and we didn't kill that game.
I just find I think that the holes you can pick in that side are. I just think, look, whatever Núñez has done for the last 2 or 3 games, etc., for me, he should be a substitute. Bring him on when centre-backs are tired. Give him half an hour to run at them. I don't think he should start a game of football. Not for now anyway. I would play Jota down the middle with Salah on one side or Gakpo down the middle and Jota on the other side. More rounded footballers. That guy is just like, and the midfielder problem for me. I mean, Szoboszlai is, he's a good player. Gravenberch is a good player, but as a unit, it's wrong. As individuals, I would say, yeah, Gravenberch is a good player. I would say Szoboszlai is a good player. McAllister's decent, but as a midfield unit, it doesn't work. I don't.
Just remember, those three players have played 2 or 3 games together.
But so, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't work. Not because they don't know each other's names, but because he's putting square pegs into round holes. It does not work what he's doing. And today he got found out against one of the less teams. I mean, it's been found out when Curtis Jones plays instead of Gravenberch against Wolves, and by hook or by crook we get there. Or so. He needs to, and he makes these decisions. Like I said, today he should have played Tsimikas at left back. Maybe this McAllister thing needs to stop. I mean, he needs to, give that. I don't even know if Endo was on the bench. I don't recall his name being on that bench today.
I think he was.
Or maybe change a formation, try it. But anyway, like I said, it wasn't good.
Today
I have a problem with some play. Like I said, Salah for me, he should be running games like that. Running games. If you're a top player in the top side and you're the governor, you run that game. And he didn't run that game. You know what I mean? He was, running down alleys. He was losing the ball. He was, Harvey Elliott, I thought, did more than Salah did in 90 minutes in about 20 minutes. And that's the difference. That's the difference. You talk about players playing together. Doku's been at Man City for 5 minutes. He assisted 4 goals, I think, yesterday and scored 1. And, they scored 6 goals yesterday and their main goal scorer didn't score. And they are the levels that you're competing with. And, yeah, I think, look, I'll watch that today. I think, a little bit of arrogance. And I just, like I said, I don't understand why McAllister played the whole game or when he was on a yellow card for so long.
Because when he made the subs, I thought definitely McAllister.
He had to come off. I mean, I don't know why he took Szoboszlai off and then Gravenberch, and he stayed on. And watching them break for the goal and him kind of chasing shadows backwards was.
It's not his fault. He's just not quick enough,
And Harvey Elliott could have made the challenge on the edge of the box. Harvey Elliott could have made a challenge on the edge of the box just before, they broke. But they've got to learn from it because it's going to be a very, very. I mean, Arsenal lost yesterday. We know that Newcastle won yesterday. It's going to be a tough season, and it's going to be.
I still think we're in a good place. I mean, look, we've had a bad day performance today, but that's
not about. I hear that, but he's got to know his best team, his best players in his best positions, and play the game. You know what I mean? At the moment, I just think he thinks anyone can play anywhere, and he's been guilty of doing that before with players as well, playing players in positions that. So look, we'll take it on the chin. It was a poor performance. It was their cup final. I don't know how many more times they're going to be live at 4:30 on a Sunday. It was definitely their cup final. They rose to it, and we've got to learn as a team to rise above these kind of teams when they're playing in cup final.
If we'd have taken our chances, we'd have won the game. So it's as simple as that. And, but we didn't, and it's a shame. But look, I'm not too down about it. I mean,
no,
I'm disappointed because we could have, if we'd have won that game. What we need to do is we need to keep the pressure on. So when we go and play City after the international break, that there's an edge to that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're relentless, and we've got to be relentless. You know what I mean? And other teams have been relentless in the past, and that's what we've got to do. Because drop 2 here, Brentford at home on Saturday is not going to be a gimme. They've picked up on some form. Yeah. And then you go to Man City, and then it becomes a have-to-win game because you might be. So anyway, it's done now. I hope they learn from it, and I wouldn't start Nunes. I like him. I love him.
Mm.
But I don't think he's a player to I'll bring him. He's at the moment, unless he can show me composure and he can show me, composure and.
I think Carragher said it. Carragher said he's got to find a way to have a different finish, because he just wants to smash the ball, and sometimes it needs a little bit more thought,
finesse, a bit more finesse, a bit more
ice in his veins as well. When he's in that position,
Exactly. So that for me, that guy can't start. Jota's natural. Gakpo's a good footballer. In fact, Gakpo's probably technically the best of all out of them lot. Mm. But now he seems to. I mean, he's a bit of a sticky wicket, that bloke, because I don't know where he plays. He's not a city. We didn't buy him as a centre forward. We bought him as a midfielder, if you like, or a 10 or something like that. And he's kind of in no man's land at the moment with his positions. So he's got to find a system that works. For me, Nunes shouldn't start games of football. Like I said, give him half an hour, let him come on, let him cause havoc against tired defenders, and go from there. But yeah, it needs fixing because you don't want to be dropping too many points, silly points like this.
I was happy for Diaz. He scored. He did well.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a tough time. Hopefully that's resolved this week. I mean, they said that they're going to release him. They've made a statement, those people, that they're going to release him. Hopefully, like I said, we just get him back and just need to have a regular, team. And,
just quickly, so do you think Salah goes in January?
No, I don't think he goes in January. I don't think anyone. I mean, you don't sell players in January. No, I don't think he goes in January. He stays to the end of the season, and if he goes, like I said, I don't mind. I mean, I love him for what he's done at Liverpool, but he's not the player I watched 3 or 4 seasons ago. He's not.
No, he's changed his game slightly. I think he's
it's not about changing his game. It's what he does. I used to watch him turn on the burners and not get caught. I used to watch him shoot, and the ball that left his foot was like a rocket. Yeah? I used to watch him, and he never used to get pushed off the ball. Now, the shots are tame. They're like back passes, some of them. Pace, not there. Energy, not there. Getting knocked off the ball, little touches.
He's been good this season. Come on, you can't say
that. Listen, watch him about 4 seasons ago, what he used to do. And
he's 4 years older. He's gonna be slightly
right, well, then that's what I said then. Look, he's 4 years older, then sell him then. Get your 180 million and rebuild. No one is forever. And
I think he probably will go the end of the season next season. But, I think this season he wanted to stay. I don't think he wanted to go in the summer to Saudi. I think he wanted to stay. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think we like you. I don't think we sell him in January. I don't
think he goes in January unless they come with a stupid offer. But I don't think they will. I mean, cracks in there. Henderson, Firmino, Benzema. There's some footballers that are not enjoying their football out there. So it was a little bit like the China thing when it happened. Everyone was offering them super money, and everyone was going to China. Yeah, of course, some will stay because it works for them and they're happy with the money. But people that are footballers that want to play football, I mean, he's on 350 grand a week at Liverpool. Why does he want to go to Saudi? How much more are they going to give him? It's not so. Yeah, I mean, we'll see sooner or later just how strong. I mean, obviously, I read something the other day about them supposedly hosting a World Cup. I think in 2030 or whenever, and that's probably not 2032 or something. I don't know how that works. They're the only country in the world that's put in a bid for that World Cup somehow. So maybe all these players they've taken out of there are for those reasons, where they're going to try and make something
build up their profile, isn't it?
If he goes, he goes. For me, he's getting to that stage. For me, he's getting to that stage where he's probably, I'd rather see a more energetic, direct. Yes, he gets the goals, but he takes our penalties, and He has got a knack of scoring goals. There's no denying that, but he's not the player he was, and that's the difference. When you're getting 97 points and winning Champions Leagues and winning the league, is the difference between the Salah you've got today, who didn't make the top four last season, and the Salah that scored 40 goals that season or whatever it was. So you've got to be careful that you don't just live on the past because the name, because the goals.
I'm not living on the past with him. I'm judging him what I see now, and this season he's been better.
Okay, but the fall off from the 97 points, he's been part of that fall off as well, along with everyone else. Yeah. So you need to regenerate. Okay, we've done it with the midfield. We still don't know if the midfield's going to succeed.
I think it will. We've got they're two good players. I mean, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, they're all good players. They'll figure out a way to play.
Right, but it's not just about the players. Sometimes it's about the manager as well. He's got to be able to realign it all again. So it's a funny time at Liverpool. I think we'll be okay, but that worried me today. And I've seen some other worrying performances this season already. And I thought we'd cured it. I honestly thought we'd cured it and we'd moved on and they were reliable. And today proved to me that we haven't quite moved on it and we're still not that reliable.
Well, we will see. We quickly touch upon Bournemouth. That was a good game. I enjoyed that game. I did enjoy it. What I saw of it. Great goal by Núñez. You see, I mean, in net he scores a worldie and then he can't score from 1 yard out. I mean, it just doesn't make sense with him sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that was a worldie. I said to Andrew today, you see what he did with the ball. I mean, his control was awful. And then he's hit it and it's kind of underneath the goalkeeper. It wasn't really, it weren't in a corner or anything, but the goalkeeper could, it was a hard shot, yeah. But
he tried one of those today as well, but the goalie tipped it or saved it or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, so he likes that kind of shot now. I think he's added that to his repertoire. But we need him to do the tap-ins now. He needs to get those in.
Yeah, we need a little bit of him rush about it, man. But I don't think he's ready to start anyway. Like I said, I just think he needs to just do the right things at the right moment.
Well, anyway, disappointing, but not the
end. Move on. We'll catch up for Toulouse.
Yes, my friend. Good night.
Bye, bro.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Give us your comments in the comments below, everyone. What do you think? Are we in crisis because we've drawn a game? I don't think so, but let me know.